Bible is a sacred text that has been a cornerstone of faith for millions of people around the world. However, with the rise of mainstream media, many have turned to television, film, and online platforms to learn about the teachings of the Bible. While mainstream media may provide a convenient and entertaining way to engage with biblical stories, it is ultimately an unreliable source for learning the true lessons of the Bible. One of the primary reasons why mainstream media fails to teach the true lessons of the Bible is that it often prioritizes entertainment value over accuracy and depth. Many biblical films and television shows are produced with the primary goal of attracting a large audience and generating revenue, rather than conveying the nuances and complexities of the biblical text. As a result, these productions often rely on sensationalism, drama, and special effects to capture viewers' attention, rather than delving into the rich theological and historical context of the Bible. Furthermore, mainstream media often presents a watered-down or distorted version of biblical teachings, which can be misleading and even damaging to one's spiritual growth. For example, many films and television shows portray biblical characters as one-dimensional figures, devoid of the complexity and humanity that is present in a biblical text. Additionally, mainstream media often focuses on the most spectacular or dramatic aspects of the Bible, such as the miracles and supernatural events, while neglecting the more subtle and profound teachings on ethics, morality, and spirituality. Another issue with relying on mainstream media to learn about the Bible is that it often lacks spiritual and devotional context that is essential for truly understanding the text. The Bible is not just a historical or literary text, but a sacred scripture that is meant to be read, studied, and meditated upon in a spirit of worship and devotion. Mainstream media, on the other hand, often approaches the Bible from a detached and secular perspective, which can lead to a shallow and superficial understanding of the text. Moreover, mainstream media is often influenced by cultural and ideological biases that can distort the true meaning of the Bible. For example, some productions may interpret the Bible through a liberal or progressive lens, while others may approach it from a conservative or fundamentalist perspective. As a result, viewers may be presented with a skewed or selective interpretation of the Bible that reinforces their existing worldview, rather than challenging them to consider alternative perspectives and interpretations. In contrast, a more authentic and meaningful approach to learning about the Bible involves engaging with the text in a personal and devotional way. This can involve reading the Bible regularly, attending church or worship services, and participating in Bible study groups or discussion forums. It also involves seeking out reputable and trustworthy sources of biblical teaching, such as pastors, theologians, and biblical scholars who can provide guidance and insight into the text. Ultimately, the true lessons of the Bible can only be learned by engaging with the text in a deep and meaningful way, rather than relying on mainstream media to provide a superficial or entertaining introduction. While mainstream media may provide a useful starting point for exploring the Bible, it is essential to move beyond the surface level and engage with the text in a more profound and spiritual way. By doing so, we can gain a richer and more nuanced understanding of the Bible and allow its teachings to transform our lives and shape our worldview.